Should be fine. All right. Good gracious me, oh my. All right. Again, so sorry about that.
That's all right. We're just hanging out. The good news about this is you don't have to drive anywhere. You know?
I know. Isn't that nice? Yeah. I have to agree. All right. I'm going to check out the platforms I broadcast to and make sure that they're all muted. Uh-oh. I have to agree. Good gracious me, oh my. There we go again. Wow, everything's like unmuted. Wow, all three of the services were.
Oh my gosh.
It must have been, oh man, I was having some internet kinds of, oh geez. Hello everyone. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host Wyman. Oh my goodness gracious. We are joined today by our special guest, Professor Murf.
Hi everyone. We've been talking in the chat for a while now.
Yeah.
I was just, if we were in a bar, we could have all gotten drinks.
Yeah, I apologize for not having the booze on tap. Let's see what I missed. All right, so basically I have no legit excuse. I finished doing some work on the internet and stuff and some scheduling earlier today. And then I laid down to take a nap. So obviously I fell asleep. And I slept through my alarms. Try and cover for myself to make sure I was up in time for the stream. And I didn't get up till just recently.
You sound like one of my students.
Hey, I just might be.
now, how am I going to tell them that they're in trouble and I can't tell you?
Well, I am in trouble, so there. Take that. Welcome, Christine Venner. Waiting. Let's go. Hey, Piper. Oh my gosh. Hail, everyone. Hail, Piper. Doll, hail.
There was a lot of trash talking going on, so.
Oh, cool. I got to catch up on the trash talking. All right. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Welcome, Matanui. Oh, man. What if it was one of those things where I never arrived and the trash talk was the only thing you saw?
Yeah, it was getting close to that. I think we were 6:45. I think was the cutoff.
Oh goodness, is there a cutoff for YouTube and stuff?
No, a cutoff for us.
Oh yeah,
we're about to bail on you.
That makes sense. Yeah. Michael Golden cover is in. Man.
Yeah, it's been updated. It's on the page now.
You have to work with Michael Golden right on. Yeah, Skinwalkers, shapeshifters, etc. have always been fascinating to me. Oh, cool. Gonna go take a peek after the stream. Everyone probably had plenty of time to take a peek before I got on.
Yeah, we went over every perk. We went over all the delivery dates. Answered every fulfillment question posed today.
Seriously. Trying to promote this as something that is a little different than the norm since there are so many werewolf books funding right now. Yeah. Yeah, people always gravitate to the werewolves. It's great to see some other wares.
Yeah. Honestly, I threw the wolf in there, obviously, because that's just a standard. But it's more interesting. Other animals are far more interesting because they're more rare. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, the Jack show was really late the other night. I think you beat Malin, though.
Oh, my God, really? Oh, wow.
I think he was just under 30 minutes.
I think Mandy has that record. Or maybe it was 7 Central Mountain. Thanks for covering for me
Sure.
while I was gone. Yep, he late. No, actually, I see my clocks are basically consist of my computer and my smartphone, and they automatically account
Right.
for daylight savings. So no excuse there. I mean, the only one I really had to set manually back is my car. Let's see.
Yeah, I bought a new car recently, and I was getting ready to do it. As soon as I started the engine, I saw the clock change, so
Oh,
it
nice.
automatically resets as well.
Oh, wow, cool.
So I guess newer cars do that.
Yeah, mine is 2010, so at least that particular car didn't have that feature. Let's see. So you're going to Publishing Pete's later. Cool.
Yeah, I was on last Monday, and he just wanted me to pop back in and update him on how things are going.
Nice. Nice. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. It's not like me to be this late. Dun, 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 dun.
The awkward silence in the chat, it's like people standing in an elevator, and you got to say something, right?
Yet at the same time, everyone's afraid that someone's going to fart, and then everyone's doing it.
But even in chats, you can feel the silence. When it drops, it's just as awkward as being in a room with someone. It's very strange how that works.
Yeah, in the States, it's spring forward, fall back. So we turn our clocks back 1 hour. It was interesting because I guess the UK had their daylight savings about a week ago, I think. So they were back 1 hour, which was 4 hours from my time, about a week before we went back an hour. It's been great, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've covered all the topics. I really don't have anything else to say. I'm sorry. I'm being a really boring host. Or guest, excuse me. I feel like the host because I've kind of been hosting it.
Yeah. Seriously. No storms, just my stupidity of taking a super long nap. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, sure. I was picturing the headlines the next day, ComicsGate vanishes,
Yeah.
The stream is like evidence, where everyone's talking about where is he, what happened.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would not have had the chance to tweet out WyzGyz didn't kill himself. Let's see here. I think I'm almost caught up. Oops. Just when I think I caught up. Oh no! Oh no! I've been.
Yeah, you have a new nickname. It's gonna be hard to shake that one.
I know. I'm gonna have to be early forevermore until people forget all about it. What's happening there? Is the stream gonna happen or postpone? Question answered. Well, I was about to ask too. I don't drink. Hell would I be doing in a bar? You'd be ordering the Pepsi. Let's see. Damn, must have needed sleep then. No need for the stream anymore. The end. Oh yes, it's been awesome for me with all the werewolf books. Not so awesome for my bank though. Oh my gosh, yeah, I hear you. Welcome, Gregory Lavica.
Hail, Gregory.
as the time zones weren't confusing enough, we need to abolish daylight savings time.
Agreed.
My goodness, it's the weirdest thing, isn't it? Daylight savings. I mean,
Yes.
does it really have any value? Does it add any value to one's life?
I mean, I think maybe farmers still use it. I don't know. I mean, that's why it was created, for farming reasons, but yeah, I don't know. It could just be a completely outdated thing. You know how it is in America. We don't like to change things. We're still on the English system of measurement instead of metric. We like our conveniences, and our, not that daylight savings is convenient, but I think we're just used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still don't know if there's really a truly legit.
There may not be
explanation for it. Christine agrees. It was done
during the war. Possible, yeah.
I think so. So again, welcome, Professor Murf, for your patience. Thank you to everyone in chat for your patience. And let's see here. Piper says, in school they said it was created to conserve
Really? Never heard that one.
to conserve candles.
Interesting. Okay.
Conserve wax.
Just go to bed earlier, just year round. Go to bed.
But yeah, it's just annoying now. My dogs don't understand. I wonder if animals have like an internal clock that just adjusts for it, or if they do.
Yeah, they do. I have dogs, and they definitely their habits are based around our habits. So, if I go to bed later or earlier, they get a little confused, like they don't understand. So I think it seems like they do.
Yeah, yeah. So welcome again. Would you be so kind as to take a moment and just kind of tell us a little bit about your background and how you even came to eventually releasing a book? Or actually, you've had several campaigns on Indiegogo.
Yeah, all animation related.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an animator, but I've been doing comics since the 90s, actually. I published my first series in 92 when I was about 17, yeah. And I mean, it was distributed with Diamond, and back during the same time Image launched. And then I did a graphic novel in 2008 called Claiborne. You can get it on Amazon. So I've been in and out of comics throughout the years, but this is the first time I've used crowdfunding to fund a comic and not animation. So, and honestly, it was ComicsGate. It was following channels like your boy Zach and EBS and seeing what they were up to, and just hearing what was happening in the industry. I'd been out since 2010. So I've been out a decade, out of the business of comics completely. But I've always loved comics. I just didn't think there was much of a future as far as the type of storytelling I wanted to do. You know, you had to either go work for Marvel or DC or try to get Image to do something. And when I heard the direction the comics industry had taken and what was happening with crowdfunding, I got really interested and excited again and thought, well, maybe this is the time to jump back into this.
So you were actually an animator from the very beginning, from your earliest years, and
not earliest years. Comics was what I did first, but right about the time of the mid 90s, when technology and computer technology got to the point where you could do animation quality, feature quality animation, hand-drawn animation, and you didn't have to, paint on cells anymore and set up a stand with a camera, and I didn't want to deal with all of that. I love the idea of being able to animate right into the computer and draw, on tablets and Cintiqs and things like that. So that got me back really into wanting to do animation. And then I've been working on a movie called Dogtown for the past 7 years. It's got George Foreman as one of the voices, Stacey Dash, Jason Begay. So yeah, I work in and out of the industry as far as that goes. But I love comics because honestly, they're just the most affordable way to tell a visual story. Movies are very expensive. Comics really aren't, other than your time. They're not very expensive to produce, and you can tell any story you want to tell visually. You're just limited by what you can draw, really. That's it. And I love the medium. So, which is why in this campaign I've released I'm doing 6-issue miniseries shipped all together. So there's 6 floppies. So I'm not doing a graphic novel like most other crowdfunders. I wanted to do 6 separate issues with different covers, 22 pages of art and story, just like you get in a traditional comic, but ship them all together as one story. So if you want to read all 6 in a row, you can. If you want to read one, put it down and read the next issue another time, you can do that as well.
Okay. All right. Just rewinding a little bit. So you had an early interest in comics, but then as soon as you saw the technology get to a certain point, you got into animation. And are you a self-taught animator and artist?
I actually have a master's degree in animation and illustration, but I was self-taught up until that point, but it kind of getting that type of training took me to another level. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to art, I'd say 30% education and 70% practice and repetition, because that's just how it is. That's how you improve, is just by drawing and animating and just doing it. You can get all the techniques and principles you want, but unless you sit down and actually apply it and do it, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna grow. So yeah, I would say it was a combination of both.
What were you using in terms of software at the time? What did you get started on?
Well, back in the day, there's things like Flash and real sort of obscure software for hand drawn, one called the Animation Stand. Then you had Toon Boom.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But today I use something called TV Paint. It's a French software. It's really the only software left for hand drawn animation. Yeah. There's most of the other software out there is like vector based, or some sort of digital application, but TV Paint's the only one where you can actually draw frame by frame, and it feels a lot more like traditional animation, but rather than drawing on paper, you're drawing on the computer, on the tablet.
But it gives you the feel of doing individual cells.
Yes, and you can play it back immediately on the fly. So it's not like you're drawing and flipping pages like they used to do, and then you got to go take to a pencil test and watch it, and all that's gone. Now you just draw it and you hit play, and you can on the fly adjust your animation. It makes it a lot quicker, and it still takes a long time, but it's a lot quicker. It's a lot cheaper. And truthfully, same goes for comics. I've always hated inking until I started doing digital inking. Now I love inking. It's my favorite part of the process of creating a book.
Okay.
So I love to ink digitally. So even my comics now are completely drawn and inked and colored digitally. I don't draw on art boards anymore or anything like that and scan it in. I don't do any of that. It's faster. You have more control. It's easier to fix things, change things. I love it. I love the technology.
Fantastic. So nowadays, would you consider yourself almost exclusively digital, or do you also jump back and forth to traditional now and then, depending on?
I go back and forth. Prime example, the poster I did for the campaign, I did that traditionally on artboard because I wanted to be able to sell the original. The problem with digital art is there's no originals. So you cut out that entire market of selling original art. So it's good every now and then to do something, even if you are digital, maybe do a cover now and then traditionally and scan it. And that way you have that piece and you can sell it. So I admire the comic artists that still draw digital or traditionally, because you still have, even with the technology, it hasn't pulled them away from. They want that board, and they want their pencil and their pen. They want to feel that paper. They love that part of it, and I get it. I understand it. But I've gotten so used to drawing on the Cintiq now, it doesn't feel any different to me. I love working digitally. And time is so valuable. It's faster. It just is. Even the scan time, you don't have to scan anything, right? No matter how fast you are, you still got to scan it and prep it and all that. I don't have to do that now.
No, true. Yeah. My new says, daylight savings needs to just fucking go. Christine says they do, but they don't understand the clock's going back and forward. All right. The MSJ. MSJ. Lost most of the loyal customers with the direction they went. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that idea. The extra covers are amazing. Same.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good stuff. And do you do traditional enough to where you could easily jump back and forth, or do you sometimes feel like you get rusty and need to like do like shapes exercises? Or
I feel that way with painting because I've done a lot of oil painting over the years, portraits and things like that, and battle scenes, like because I'm big into history and things like that. So there's a technique to painting and using the brush and mixing the paint, on the canvas and that digital does not simulate. Painting digitally is completely different.
mm-hmm.
The concepts are the same about how to create a good painting with layout and composition and value and all that other sort of thing, but the way the paint interacts with the canvas and things like that, of course you don't get any of that on digital. It's a totally different type of feel. So yeah, I have noticed that painting, if you're a painter, you do need to still paint traditionally as much as possible. Otherwise you get kind of sucked into that digital world, and it's a totally different approach. Honestly, it can hinder your ability to paint traditionally if you don't keep practicing.
And when you paint, are you into acrylics, oils?
Oils. I hate acrylics. Some artists love it. I don't like it because it dries so fast. I don't like it because it's hard to mix the same color. Like it's hard to match colors. It's a plastic kind of medium. And oils, they're richer. They blend better. They take longer to dry, which I actually like because you can stop a painting and come back to it. They stink, of course, because you got turpentine. They're not water based. But I've always been partial to oils. I've never liked acrylics. And there's some artists that can do great stuff with acrylics. I wish I could, but the few times I've tried to use them, I just stop. Before I'm even found, I hate this. Like I said, I feel like I'm painting with plastic. It's just very hard to get it to blend properly, and it's that lack of that oil in there that causes that, sort of makes that difficult.
Yeah, I didn't care for the plasticky feel of acrylics, but I also didn't like the strong smell of oils.
Yeah, I mean it'll stink up your house, definitely. My wife had to put up with it for 3 years when I was getting my master's degree because there was a lot of painting in different classes, and you buy the odorless paint thinner. You know how Bob Ross, odorless, you gotta buy the odorless, but it still stinks, right? It just doesn't stink as bad. There's no such thing as odorless paint thinner. I've never been able to find it. But yeah, Fizz Giggity said, how much do you charge for a 30-second animation? It depends on what it is, like how involved it is. If it's hand drawn, like you're talking, 12 drawings a second, because film is 24 a second, and you usually shoot every drawing twice on twos, so that's 12 drawings a second. So that's a good chunk of work. So that could get very expensive. But if it was something more limited, kind of like Charlie Brown, with little feet moving and the mouth talks, or something, so it depends on how complex it is, how many figures are in it. In my promo video for War Party, I actually animated, I don't know how long it is, it might be 10 seconds or so or less, of the guy's face turning into a wolf, turning into a werewolf, and he turns his head and his face morphs, and that was done hand animation, 12 drawings a second. So that took a while. It takes a long time to draw that way, to do that type of.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, I haven't done it myself, but from what I hear, animation takes a long time. Christine's asking, did you choose to set your comics in that period of time because of your love of history, or was it just that the story you wanted to tell?
Both. I like putting things in the past because I just think it's more dramatically interesting. The past is interesting because it's almost like a different world. It's almost like going to another planet. It's so different than the world we live in now that you're automatically creating something that's almost like a fantasy world. Even if you do something historically accurate, it still feels like a fantasy world because it's so different from the world we're in now. So there's partly that, but also I love that period of history, especially pre-revolution, when America was still colonies and you had this wild frontier, and just, you know, you had the French and the British fighting for control of the continent, and the Native Americans and the colonists kind of stuck in the middle. It's very fascinating. It's a very complicated part of history with a lot of alliances and you know, and sort of personal feuds and things going on all over the country, and it's an untamed land. So I just thought it made sense, you know, put the werewolf story in the past. It automatically makes it more intriguing, you know. So you know, you got muskets and cannons and horses and wilderness, and you know, it's not our modern day society at all. So
For sure. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. It does add excuse me, another layer of interest. Uh, See, I don't like oils. I'm impatient and they take forever to dry. I'm the same
yeah,
there
they
too.
do. Now you can there is something called Liquin that you can mix in with your oils, and it thins it out a little bit, but it also causes it to dry faster. So that was one technique. Or linseed oil, I think, was another thing we would use. Of course, there's always a hair dryer. There's stories because, you know, Frank Frazetta worked exclusively in oils, and he would sometimes have paintings due the next morning, and he'd be up at night, you know, hair blow drying his paintings so that he could pack it up to ship it to New York for the publisher, and they had to be dry. So he's just sitting there blow drying these paintings, and his
Wow.
paintings are pretty small. I didn't realize, but a lot of Frazetta's paintings are only like, I don't know, like 8.5 by 11. They're
Whoa,
or
really?
8 by yeah, they're really small.
Yeah.
He would paint very, you know, he'd use a real fine brush.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess he was one of the best.
I mean, but then even with the even with the hair dryer, don't you also have the risk of, you know, you got different layers of paints on the canvas, and the highest peaks, aren't they going to have? Don't you have the risk of drying the top layer, but the
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're a thick painter and you leave big chunks on there, yeah, they're not going to be dry inside. They will smear. Um, I think in the case of Frazetta, he never really did that.
oh,
He didn't build up thick textures. He actually would layer his colors pretty thin, sometimes almost like translucent, like watercolor. He'd water down or you know, those oils so much. Um, so yeah, you're right. If it was thick,
mhm.
you know, with big chunky, that takes days and days and days to dry, sometimes
Yeah,
longer.
I bet. Christine says the trailer's brilliant.
Thank you, Christine.
Uh, Piper says, "Oh dang, yeah, I originally wanted to be an animator, but the impatience
Yeah,
defeated me. So comics is
yeah.
where I am."
This brings up a funny thing because when I first launched my campaign, there was some talk about, how's he offering 140 pages? That is like, does he have any idea how much work that is? And I was like, well, first of all, you know, 5 issues are finished. Or 4 issues are finished. I'm on 5 now. So there's 2 left. So most of the work is done. But also, yes, comics are a lot of work. I agree. But when you come from animation, especially hand-drawn animation, comics are not that much work, because I can create a page and say a lot in a page in 2 days, maybe 3 if it's a really complex page. Whereas that same amount of information that you saw on that page, that whatever happens on that page, that could take weeks or months to animate. Months. So there's no comparison. I can show a guy running across, you know, the woods and jumping off a waterfall, right? And I can
Mhm.
do that in 3 or 4 panels,
Yeah.
right? Animate the guy running through the woods and jumping off the waterfall, even if it's just 2 seconds. You're going to work for weeks and weeks on that shot to
Hmm.
get it done. So it's just, there's really no, in terms of the labor, there's no comparison, and it's actually prepared me in a strange way to come back to comics, because
Oh,
now, like, this is fast compared to what I was doing, you know. So
yeah. Yeah, it's like when comparing the two, it's almost like with comics, you're picking out specific scenes,
mhm.
specific action scenes and poses, that convey your message, whereas you're literally doing everything in between for animation.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shortcuts unless you cut, the shot. You've got to still depict the figure in motion. What if the camera moves? That's a whole nother thing. Then you got to paint a longer background, a bigger background, because the camera's panning across the background.
Yeah.
There's so many things to deal with. Comics too, you can also drop the background out. How many times we do close-ups and it's just we lose the background. You can't do that in animation. It's a movie. The background's always got to be there, whether it's in focus or whatever. There's got to, if there's trees behind that person, there's got to be trees behind that person, regardless of the shot. So they're not the same at all in terms of medium, but and they're both a lot of work. But comics for me is like a break, honestly, from what I've been doing for the past 7 years.
I bet. So are you are you still active in the like, do you have an active career in animation, and you just are working on this book on the?
Yeah, well, I have many animators working on Dogtown. I'm really the director. I've done a lot of animation on Dogtown, but most of the animation is not done by me. It's done by my various animators all over the world. But that project, picks up and slows down depending on investors and the money and things like that. So I'm still raising money for that movie as I go along. So that's why it takes so long. Whereas this is project, this is all me, other than my colorist. I'm the writer, I'm the artist. My colorist is Jay Brown. He worked for Marvel for years. He does a lot of work for IDW, G.I. Joe, things like that. But I've been working with him since Claiborne back in 2008. So we know how we groove, you know what I mean? Like, he knows my style. I know what he's going to give me. I know how to tell him what I want, what I'm looking for. And so far, I mean, you can see the results. I mean, I wouldn't want any other colorist. It's great.
Yeah. Once you find someone you really gel with, then you don't want to lose that connection. Speaking on Dogtown real quick, you mentioned going through several stages of funding, kind of reminiscent of like a brand new startup company getting ready for IPO. Rather than have multiple campaigns, couldn't you, through the use of Indiegogo, have done the main campaign up to 60 days of initial funding, and then left it in demand the rest of the time until you opted to?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the funding that I did on Indiegogo for Dogtown was just startup money to hire some of my actors and things like that. It was really in the early stages. The bulk of the money that's been invested in the movie did not come from crowdfunding. It came from private investors, because you're dealing in six-figure territory at that point, and it's too much money to try to raise on crowdfunding with my social media footprint the way it is right now. It's way too much money. So I never saw crowdfunding as a viable option to fund the entire movie. It was something to supplement the investment, but most of the money that's gone into the movie has been from private investors who now own shares in the film. So that's it's private placement equity, where they invest and they get a piece of the movie. So that's how I've done it. So you're talking much larger sums of money from individuals than like, here's $25 for a t-shirt kind of thing. It's not that at all. So it's a totally different type of business model than obviously the comics, because comics are they're a lot cheaper to produce and they're a lot more affordable. So crowdfunding makes sense for comics. So that's why I've never, really used it for that purpose for animation. It was more of a supplemental thing.
What is your ultimate goal for Dogtown? Are you looking for a theatrical release?
Well, that's a good question, because until 6 months ago, I'd said yes, but it's considering where things are today and the state of where theaters are going. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could. We may have to go straight to streaming. We may have to cut a deal with a streaming service and just do it that way, or do sort of a direct to consumer video release on Blu-ray or DVD, because people are still buying DVDs and Blu-rays.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, I don't think theaters will totally go away. But I mean, Regal's pretty much dead. AMC's, I think, went bankrupt, or AMC's in trouble. I think theaters are going to become more like drive-ins or more boutique type mom and pop type places that play more like older movies. First run, the era of the first run tentpole billion-dollar blockbuster like we've seen in the past few years with Marvel and Star Wars. I don't know if that era's going to come back anytime soon, because without theaters, you can't make that kind of money back.
Right.
If you're just going to release a movie on Netflix and you've dumped $500 million in it, and you're just releasing it on Netflix for your streaming, part of your streaming service, how are you making money off that? You're just giving the audience $500 million movie to keep them as a subscriber.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that with a lot lower budget material than that.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole movie industry is it's in flux, like it is. So because so much has changed, we'll wait and see in the next few years where that ends up, as far as what distribution model makes sense.
Right.
But what I love about crowdfunding, especially with comics, is you can produce the product and deliver the product direct to the customer. Done deal.
Yeah.
Nice. It's just a great business model.
Oh yeah, for sure. Christine says, "Yeah, I love novels that are set historically and are accurate, but with a fictional story. A discovery of witches went to Elizabethan England in the second book."
Yeah. It's well, what's great about making a historical fiction or fantasy is you're not sort of hamstrung. Like when I did Claiborne, it was based all on real people. So I was very limited. I had to work within the parameters of where was this person at this point in time, and what were they doing, and you kind of fill in the gaps, but you can't just go off on a tangent. Wouldn't it be cool if this happened? You can't do that when you're talking about history, or at least you shouldn't. I know a lot of movies do, but I think it's unethical in a lot of ways to do that, because in a sense, all historical movies are fiction to a degree. Like if you go watch Braveheart, it's a great movie, it's entertaining, but there is a ton of inaccuracies in that movie. I mean, just fraught with inaccuracies. It's more fiction than it is history. So even when you try to be historically accurate, you're going to have to deviate. But what's great about something like War Party is because it's just total fantasy. I mean, obviously, it's got werewolves and stuff. I can take the historical period and try to make the costume or the uniforms accurate and sort of events around it accurate. But other than that, I'm free to sort of go off on whatever tangent I want with the story to make it more exciting. So it kind of frees you up a little bit more, when you blend the two.
Gotcha. Yeah, and we were talking earlier about using a hair dryer on paintings. I've heard about other people doing that too. I guess it's kind of the norm. Welcome, Edwin. Sign up for the mailing list. Acevedo. Hail, peeps.
Hail, Edwin.
Yeah, the art is drool worthy.
Christine has been the best. Let me tell you what, she was one of my early backers, and she has been, she's been super chatting. I think she even super chatted EVS one time and got him to shout it out. She has worked tirelessly to help this campaign along. So I really appreciate everything she's done. She's been great.
Yeah, that is cool. She rocks. Yeah, that's difficult, which is why I like fictional stories, but set in a historical period. Yeah. All right. War Party looks freaking cool. So you're in funding stages. Let me see. First off, you're presently at 58, 40, 115 backers. So you're at just over half, specifically 58% of your flex goal. Would you mind sharing some about how you broke out your funding goal? I mean, is it predominantly the cost of your time you put into making 5 books, but also
6 books.
6 books. Sorry, and then the cost of shipping, cost of international shipping, cost of printing. Is that where it comes up to?
Yeah. Well, you have to keep in mind that I've been working on this project for 2 years. So a lot of time and money's already been invested. So no, it costs more than $10,000.
Oh, goodness.
But because I've already invested that time and money, 10,000 is like completion funds, honestly, to get it done and released. So, but I mean, it's still a hefty goal. I know a lot of campaigns do not shoot for a goal that high. They usually shoot for, I mean, I would have already been funded now if I had based my campaign on, you know, what most campaigns, the funding is, you know, 'cause usually they shoot for like 5,000 or even less. But I, you know, I had to be realistic. It's 6 issues, and you know, I did the numbers, and that's what I needed. Now the good news is, because Indiegogo allows you to extend your campaign, you know, a lot of people have been advising that I do that, and I wanted to see how far the funding got, and you know, the funding has come along enough to justify it, in my view. It's been a slow burn. It never really took off, but it's been consistently growing. And so that's the good news, is it's been a very steady sort of climb. And a lot of it's just exposure, getting it out there. There's a lot of people that just still aren't aware of it. You know, that this is only like my 3rd or 4th stream. So I haven't really been able to promote it as much as it needs it. But I think if I extended another 30 days and you know, stay on the stream tour, that there's no reason in the world. I'll be at 6,000 probably by tomorrow. There's no reason in the world why I can't hit my goal. Now, for those concerned, if I don't hit my goal, the book's still coming out. I intend on releasing this book regardless. So that's why I chose a flexible goal. It was never an option for me to not release this book. So the book's coming out regardless, but obviously, you know, I want to hit the goal, because then it can go into in demand and keep selling the book. Whereas if you don't hit your goal, you can't go in demand. So that's kind of an important thing.
Right. Yeah, that's good for people to know. Christine says thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, strangely enough, I hadn't heard about War Party until a short while ago, and every now and then again I hear someone bring it up. But I'm glad I finally got into it, because it's really nice looking. And I'm glad to hear that you still got the option of extending the funding another 30 days. And making sure it gets fully funded, but so that you can go in demand as well.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely one of those projects that's worthwhile. The price is too low.
Yeah, that's an interesting video. You'll have to watch that. It's fairly entertaining. It was another stream where they were questioning why isn't he charging more money for this, and so I give some answers to all of the criticisms. They were healthy criticisms. They were just asking, you know, general questions that anyone would ask.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I never thought I'd get scolded for not charging enough money. How dare you? You're charging $4 a comic book? What's wrong with you?
Oh crap! You might hear some of the same from me.
Yeah, right.
So is this the main trailer?
Yes, it is.
All right. And the others are like clips from streams and like informational.
Yeah, just like supplemental type videos. Yeah.
Cool. Let's check this out.
Sure.
Any day now, computer.
It's that 1750s technology. Yeah.
Everything changed when war reached the Americas. Caught between the French and the British, my family paid the price. Only my darling Sarah survived. They took her away. We couldn't save them, but we will save her. 5 men against thousands, how can it be done? We are not million men. War has brought out the beast in us all. And we will have our vengeance, for we are the War Party.
That's cool. I like your logo, Rampart Press.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. The top of the Rampart juts out above the corner.
Yeah. And that was my logo back when I was publishing Claiborne. It's just a little ironic that there's a full moon there and I'm doing a werewolf book now, but it was not intentional. It just happened that way.
You planned this from the get-go.
Yes, yeah, it's all a grand conspiracy.
Exactly.
The low prices, the full moon.
Your master plan. Let's see here. Don't let it run out completely before you extend, or you won't be able to extend. You need to extend before the 9 hours.
Yeah, she's panicking. She's like, "Don't forget, don't fall asleep." No, I'll extend it. What I wanted to do is actually extend it on Pete's on his open mic.
Oh, all right.
But maybe that's pushing it. I don't know.
How late is he?
It's at 9. The campaign closes, I think, at 3 a.m. Or is when it ends. So I figured I could wait to the last minute and do that.
Well, as long as you get in before it's too late and you don't pull a Wyman. Oh man, yeah, it would be a shame. It would be really sad if you miss that.
Yeah, maybe I should just go ahead and do it to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would, but that's just me.
The featured perk is basically the 6 issues, but you also get 5 variant covers of issue 1, and each cover, like you saw, features a different member of the war party because there's 5 of them. Michael Golden does the Eagle cover, the Eagle character. So you're basically getting 11 comic books for $50. And a poster, by the way. So.
Holy cow.
But that one's not been the winner's been the 6 issues for $25. That's the one everyone's going for. It's got the most pledges, probably because I know 25 is the magic number with crowdfunding. That tends to be the perk most people spring for because it's not a lot of money, you know.
I was going to say, I thought it was because they were autographed.
It could be, but I just honestly think it's just a lot of people, if you want to try something, you know, here's 25. Yeah, I'll give it a shot, you know.
Yeah.
You got to be committed to throw $50 toward a project, I think. You got to be a little more committed on that one. Really be really sure you want it, you know. Yeah,
for sure. Let me see this stuff on the story portion on the left here. Excuse me. War Party is Pocahontas meets Altered Beast. Oh, Altered Beast was such a fun game.
Yeah. The Splintering came up with that one.
And then Justin Murphy is a talent to watch for, and hopefully he'll produce more comics of this caliber. From Comics Buyer's Guide.
That was actually back when I did Claiborne, so he was quoting me on my previous work. So I was answering his hope by now I'm doing more comics. So doesn't hurt to put CBG as one of your good reviews.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, what kind of story was Claiborne?
It was a Civil War story, but it was about a real general. So I had to adhere to history. You know, pretty. It had to be pretty solid in terms of the historical accuracy.
Now, when you do one of those kinds of things, is there like in this day and age, like descendants or like an estate of that general that you have to run things by first?
He had no children. He gets killed he got killed in a battle called Franklin in Tennessee. The last few months of the war, leading like a real bloody charge, and he was engaged to be married, but he never got to marry the woman he was engaged to. So he has no offspring other than I think his brother might have had some children. So he could have some distant nieces or nephews, but I'm not aware of them. But yeah, I mean, you can make people angry. I wasn't very nice to General Hood. Probably should have been a little nicer to Hood in the book. And I don't think his offspring was very happy with it. And I understand. I mean, I get it. It's tough when you're talking about somebody, but I was doing it from Claiborne's point of view and his men's point of view. So when you have to take a point of view, you kind of have to somebody has to kind of be the villain, you know, even if necessarily they weren't totally a villain in real life. They are the adversary. Let me use that term. So the villain, or the adversary, they're the one, or the antagonist. They're trying to stop the protagonist kind of from what they're doing, or they're in the way, so to speak. So when you're doing history, you know, sometimes you gotta kind of take a point of view, and it's going to sort of color the opinion of the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you're this whole project is predominantly digital in nature, right?
Yeah, other than the poster, everything else is drawn digitally.
All right.
So, yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see all the way down, you'll see the poster. You'll see me holding the poster. It's 211 by 17 pieces of artboard taped together.
Oh, all right. And then these are floppies. So does that mean you're also printing on newsprint?
No, it'll be like satin, finished paper. Yeah, I'm not going to quite go that low end. No, because the colors really. I mean, I know newsprint printing has gotten better. I know Alterna offers newsprint options. The color though is really really rich, and I'm just not so sure that coloring would work too well on newsprint. I think it needs to be a little bit higher quality paper than that.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
Man, one of the things I really dig is ultra detail, and this stuff is gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm a child of the 80s, the comics of the late 80s. Like, you know, I love Bernie Wrightson. I love Brian Boland, Michael Golden, of course. Those are the artists I grew up on. So naturally, I'm going to gravitate to that more sort of slightly classic comic style, but with, you know, attention to detail.
So cool. Nice.
Yeah, they get pretty big, as you can see. He's not a werewolf that's the same size as he is when he's a man. They get huge. He's about, I'd say he's about 9 feet tall. So they're imposing adversaries. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a spoiler, but do these creatures have the ability to change back and forth between human and creature?
Yes, they put on a pelt of that animal, but you can only change into the animal that your spirit animal is. And the female character Diane, she's a shaman. She's the only one that can unlock your spirit animal, so she knows what your spirit animal is. And a pelt has to be made of the skins of that actual animal, and you have to put the pelt on, because they actually used to do that. They would put the pelt on to go into battle. Celts did this in Europe too. They put on the pelts of animals, and they drink a potion or something that got them sort of, you know, jacked up, or a little, you know, out of their mind, so to speak. And then they go into battle, and a lot of times they would actually believe they were transforming into that beast, so it would help them in combat. So the difference here is they actually do transform into the beast.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's the through line, and if I do any further books beyond this one, I can take her through various periods of history, because she's kind of like Wolverine. Her cells regenerate at a very, very fast rate, so she doesn't age. She ages very slowly, so it's almost like a limited immortality. So 100 years to her would be like 5 years aging for us. Or vice versa. I'm sorry. 100 years to us would be 5 years aging to her. Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll do it. As long as I do it before 3 a.m., I should be fine, right? Okay. I don't think there's a window of time where you have to do it, you know, within 5 hours or 6 hours of the cutoff.
Well, I used to hear that with Indiegogo, they required you to set all that up from the get-go before you can even...
Not anymore. There's a little button if you go, and it'll allow you to extend it one time up to 60 days from your launch date. So it's an additional 30 days.
All right.
But you only let you do it once.
Yeah.
You can't do it again. So yeah, I wasn't even aware of it in my previous campaigns. This must be a new thing. I don't know. But it's a great idea, because this campaign's a prime example. It'll hit its goal at 60 because it's, like I said, it's been a slow burn.
Yeah.
But I just needed more time. 30 days wasn't enough time to the momentum and get the word out and things like that. It's very crowded right now. There's a ton of books being crowdfunded right now. It's really kind of it was a bad time to launch, apparently.
Well, I mean, it's hard to pick the perfect time to launch because
you never know.
It keeps growing and growing, and there are a lot of books out there. You're absolutely right. And well, my computer, I got some software or something that's constantly taking up resources. All right, there we go.
You can see in those two black and white pages a little bit. You see Diane transforming back from her spirit animal. Diane is Algonquin for deer, so her spirit animal is the deer. And when she's in her form, in her beast-like form, she has like enhanced agility and speed. When the wolf character, he's only like 17 there in that picture. His father, they're hunting her. They don't know what she is. They just see, and she's shot, so she's almost mortally wounded. And he sees her, and when he sees what she is, he decides to let her go. He tells his father he didn't see anything, so he spares her life when he was younger. So when he's a grown man and his daughter gets abducted, he and Diane already know each other. They already have a past, and she repays the favor by bringing him to her father and saying, his daughter's been taken. You remember what he did for me. I want to give them this power to shapeshift, because they don't share it with pale faces, Europeans, whatever. Right. It's strictly a tribal thing. So that's sort of a payback sort of moment for him. So, because she trusts him because he spared her life. He could have shot her, and killed her right then, and he didn't.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so she's an important character. She's going to be my through line, and if I do any follow-up books in other time periods, she'll be the only one still alive. So it's kind of like Quantum Leap, where he goes into a different time period, and the main characters become the people in that episode, so to speak, and then he goes on to another time period.
No, I love that series. Christine backed the perk that had all the covers, I think.
Yeah. The covers are gonna be a nice collector's item, I think.
Oh yeah.
What's great about ComicsGate or just crowdfunding in general is these books are printed at such a low quantity, even the successful ones, that as the books become more popular, those first runs are really rare and they become sought after. So it's almost inevitable. You're printing at such a low count number that it's inevitable they're gonna increase in demand over time.
Absolutely. Christine wants all the covers. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Joe Frago, welcome.
Hail, Joe.
Yes, you did make it. Hello.
Now, if you go down to the next page, you'll see how the transformation happens. I wanted to do something different than what I'd seen in other werewolf movies or stories. You see the pelt. You see the when you transform, the pelt actually penetrates your flesh and merges with you. So you can see the fangs of the wolf head biting into his eye sockets, and all of the pieces of the pelts are pushing their way into his flesh, into his muscles, into his body. It's consuming him.
Oh, damn.
So it's that's how you transform. You merge, the pelt merges with you. So it's not like you turn a werewolf, then you take the pelt off. The pelt merges with your flesh. And then when you come back, it releases and you're back to normal, and you have the pelt on. So you see that the parts of those are the twigs on the top of the wolf pelt going into penetrating his face, his head, and everyone's looking on like, oh my God, what's happening? Of course, the Algonquins are running away because they know what's going on. They're like, oh, this guy's a shapeshifter. We're getting out of here. And the British are just looking on like, what in the hell is this? And of course you can see his back. They were flogging him. They were beating him for desertion. So he was chained to a kind of like a cross and being flogged, and he was being flogged to death almost. And Diane came and put the pelt on him. And you can see the pelt penetrating his back, and the reason his back's all bloody is because he's been whipped. So he was near death at this point. He had been captured, and
So when they change into a creature, does it offer them regenerative effects?
While they're the creature, yes, because you see his hand there. In an earlier issue, he actually has his fingers chopped off by by the warrior that took his daughter. He chops his fingers off, but you can see in that picture his fingers are regenerating. So yeah, he will have he'll have all his digits back when he's a wolf, but then when he goes back to his human form, everything goes back to the. So if you're missing your legs, they're gonna grow back when you're in your beast form, but then when you go back to your human form, they're gonna go back to nubs again. So it's like it's a temporary fix, and you can't stay in animal form too long, or you will become that animal. It'll start to consume your mind, your body, and he will literally turn into a wolf, not a werewolf, a wolf. So Diane's the only one that can pull them in and out of it. She's key to all of it.
Huh. So. All right. Welcome, Grown Up Trunks. Looks epic.
Thanks. It is epic. It will be epic.
Piper says Harley. Yeah, that's a brilliant way. Skinwalker legend. Yeah,
it's different. I've never seen it done this way, so I think that's what makes it different.
Me either. That's pretty badass. Wow. But oh man, you said that if you're in human form and you previously either got your fingers chopped off or your legs were cut off at the knee, for example, and then you got the pelt on and you converted to the creature, everything would regenerate, all your limbs and digits, but then as soon as you converted back to human, you'd be back to like more or less being disabled, right?
Yeah. So in a way, it's almost a temptation, because if you want your legs back, you got to be a beast. Yeah. So there's a conflict there, but you can't stay the beast. But they can talk in their beast form. I didn't make them, like traditional werewolves where they just growl and they don't know who they are anymore, and they're just running around like the Hulk, tearing everything up. No, they have their wits, they have their brain, their memories of the same person. But they can speak, they can communicate just like a human being, but they sound like a monster. So I want them to be able to communicate and talk in their animal form.
Wow. So we got an original poster art 17 by 22, the only one of its kind, pencils and inks by Justin Murphy. Great for any comic art collector. Well, you got all the characters here.
Yeah, if you go down, you'll actually see the size of it in that next picture.
Oh, nice. That's a cool shot.
Wow. That took a long time to draw, let me tell you. Yeah.
I bet, because you had to sketch it out, then you inked it all.
Mm-hmm. That's 2 full-size comic artboard pages. They're taped together in the back. Yeah.
Did it take long for you to decide on a design for each of these characters in, beast mode?
Yeah, I mean, I pulled from things that I liked. In other words, I kind of based the werewolf. I've always liked the werewolf in the Howling, Rob Bottin's designs.
Okay.
He gave them real pointed ears. I didn't go quite as crazy with the pointed ears that he did, but I kind of pulled from the werewolves I loved in the 80s movies. The rest of them I've never really seen done, so I just took elements of, like, how would a gator look if it was a weregator? Well, his snout would be a little shorter, because you kind of have to base things around humanoids.
Yeah.
So so you're gonna adjust certain things. The eagle's very humanoid, but he still has a beak, and he still looks like kind of like an eagle head, but he's got the arms and the legs and everything.
Man, yeah, I thought it was especially interesting, the eagle character.
Yeah, and a little surprise at the end. I don't want to give anything away, but there's a lot more creatures than this, and I won't say how that happens, but it will. There's a big battle at the end.
Nice. Michael Golden variant cover, comics veteran who's done Nom, G.I. Joe, Bucky O'Hare, Doctor Strange. also the co-creator of X-Men character Rogue. Pledge for the featured perk and receive his Eagle variant cover of issue number 1.
Now, this is an unusual perk you don't really get with many campaigns, but because I'm an animator, I'm doing a complete motion comic of issues 1 through 6. So for $10 extra as an add-on perk, you'll get the whole series in a motion comic form, like a movie, basically, like a little, not fully animated, obviously, just panning around the simplistic kind of animation of panels and characters and shots, kind of like what you saw in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is unique.
Yeah.
So it's like you might come to one panel and you'll see the transformation from human to future.
So rather than looking at the whole page, you're looking at panel by panel. You've seen motion comics before. You know what I'm talking about. It's the same type of thing. But yeah, this one lends itself well to that, so I wanted to do that as well.
Have you already made this? Is it
issue 1 and 2? Yes, I've already animated them and shot them. And when I say animated, I'm talking like the camera, moving around and things like that. Yeah, they don't take as long as you think. I mean, they take a while, but they don't take as long as making the book. That's for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's MPEG file format. Cool.
Yeah.
Good quality. We got an autographed 17 by 22 poster. So this is the colorized version.
Right.
Do you have the original in inks only? And
yes. Yeah, the color's done digitally. Yeah.
And this is in poster. 17 by 22.
It's the same size. It's the exact same size as the actual artboard.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. When it comes to posters, I'm one of those goofy people who's into like movie-sized posters. There's like more than one format, but I usually go for is it 24 by 36?
Yeah, those are huge. Those are the movie-sized posters.
Yeah, that's what I have hanging on my walls.
Yeah.
So anytime I have a chance to get a poster that size or close to it, I'm game.
Yeah, they get a little big. Sometimes it's hard to find wall space for them, which is why I went a little smaller on this one. I just felt like 17 by 22 was big enough. Yeah, because I've printed posters that big in the past, and most people just don't have the wall space for them.
Well, yeah, I hear that. Christine says it's similar to the Skinwalker legend with the pelt, but yeah, I've not seen that actual pelt consuming the man before.
Yeah.
Cool idea. Wow.
There was a movie called The Company of Wolves in the 80s, which did something interesting where the wolf mouth came out of the person's mouth, and their flesh ripped off on the inside. So it's kind of a reverse of that. If you ever look up Company of Wolves poster, you'll see it with the mouth. It always fascinated me as a kid because I was like, I've never seen that done. So you got to do stuff different. You got to change it up. It's been done so many times, the whole werewolf thing. You got to try to do something to make it more original.
Yeah. Oh wow, man, so cool.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Let's check this out here. Oops. Wait. Christine says, I wish I could have got that. It's brilliant.
For all the work that Christine's done, I'm sure I could work something out, Christine, to get you that motion comic. Okay, so you've earned it. Okay. Extra perks for Christine. Yeah. Thank you, FizzGiggity. I love watching you on streams, by the way. You're very entertaining. Always make me smile.
Absolutely. Love that movie. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's check these out here. So as you mentioned, the first perk is a complete variant set. And so far 25 claimed. You get issues 1 through 6, and you've already physically completed all the first 5 issues, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So you're already done with the first 5 issues, correct?
4 issues. I'm on issue 5 now, but that's why the delivery is not till June 2021. So I've allowed myself enough time to get issues 5 and 6 completed. Plus, my colorist has to do all. He's only done the first 2 issues, so he's still got to do 3, 4, 5, and 6.
No, all right.
We overlap, so there's a lot. There's most of it's done, but there's still a good chunk of it left to do. So you know, it's by no means finished. I don't want to mislead anybody, but enough of it is done that obviously it made sense to go ahead and launch.
Yeah, it seems like the rule of thumb is try and have
75%.
Well, minimal 25%. Huh?
Yeah. Oh God, I would never go in with 25. I'd say minimal, at least half, if not 75. I think a lot of times people should just finish their books.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just,
I mean, if you can just finish the book before you launch, that would.
If it's 48 pages, 64 pages, just finish the thing, then launch. This was so long though that, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not going to wait till all 6 are done. I can't. You know, I've already been working on it almost 2 years, so it was time.
Have these books been released elsewhere, like
no
comic shops or anything?
No, I've only worked with Diamond in the past with all my books, but Diamond gets a 60% discount, so that's a big reason why for me this is great. I'm getting full cover price, so I don't feel like I'm undercharging at all because I've never gotten full cover price for anything I've done. I've always gotten 60% off.
Oh,
so man. Yeah, it's a totally different world when you're dealing with distribution and retail.
60%,
so
damn.
Yeah, it'll kill you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is great. But I hate to do this to you, but my son has to do his homework on his computer.
Oh no!
So I have to go.
Oh shoot! I need to have you on again.
Yeah, just I mean, I'll be out there another 30 days. So by all means, I can come on again.
Yeah,
let's do that.
You got my immediate schedule, so I mean, you're welcome to come on later this week even.
Okay. I'll let you know. I'll try to jump back on another time this week, and we'll do it again.
Oh yeah, I apologize for being late in the first.
No problem.
So
hail the chat. You guys have been great. ComicsGate.
I think what I'm going to do is, you know, I know you have to go, so after you go, I'll probably browse the. Browse the different tiers on the rest of the stream. Go over those.
Sounds good.
With the chat. Before you leave, you want to take a moment to share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm Professor Murf. I'm at Rampart Press. And I also have a YouTube channel, Professor Murf. So you can go to YouTube and find me there as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so thank you to Professor Murf. Appreciate your time, and we'll get you back on ASAP.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, have fun with homework.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so sorry, all. I wasn't expecting it to be cut short, but let's check out these perks here. And let's see here. Man, this is so cool, isn't it? Feature tier, you get the complete variant set. Get the entire series as well as 5 additional variant covers of issue 1, including a cover by comics legend Michael Golden. It's nice to see Michael Golden come, getting involved more and more with these ComicsGate projects. It's pretty sweet. Plus a full color poster, all signed by author Justin Murphy. Each cover features one of the shape-shifting creatures: wolf, bear, gator, eagle, and jaguar. The entire set will be shipped together. 11 books total. Jeez. That is freaking cool. I mean, in the ComicsGate world, that's a hugely freaking good deal. Hail Professor Murph. Sorry for not reading that while I was still here. Yeah, been great. Piper, you gotta leave too? Okay. You're doing it Among Us? Oh my gosh. I hope that's a blast. It should be pretty fun. Thanks for being here, Piper. Hi, Eric. Good to have you. What's cracking, homies? Back this book, though. I'm so hyped for it. Yeah, it looks really cool. It's an insane price for that many books, and to get a Michael Golden cover too. Yeah, seriously. Hey there, Eric. Hello, Christine. Bye, Fizz. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is a freaking amazing deal. I mean, otherwise, I'd half expect to pay. Let's see. So you get the entire series, which is 6 issues plus 5 additional variant covers. What? That's 11 books? Yeah, 11 books. And you get an autographed poster. And one of those covers is by Michael Golden. So if you even go on the low end for CG books, that's like what, $25 a copy. So 25 times 4, 8, 12. That's what, nearly $300 easily for that kind of collection. Damn. And all for 50 USD. All for 50 USD. That's crazy. But then when you put it in to perspective with what he's used to getting, he's getting the bulk of the profit for himself, so he doesn't have to deal with the 60% cut that Diamond was giving him. 60% discount. That is crazy. Let's see here. Hello. 140 pages on the 6 issues alone. Yeah. And again, you get the variant covers, and you get a Michael Golden cover, and you get an autographed poster. Jeez. No excuse for not backing this. This is huge. There are only 22 pages though, so it's still an insane price. Yeah. 22 pages book. And I'm pleased to hear that it's not on newsprint. I mean, I don't really have much against newsprint, but I like the nicer quality paper. I have a preference for the nicer paper. And I have to agree with him. The nicer paper will probably make the rich colors pop. 11 books in total for $50. I spent around 70 to 100 on 10 back issues, so 50 is a good price. It is a great price. Oh my gosh. It's insane. Everybody back this book. It's definitely worthwhile. I'm surprised I didn't dig into this further earlier on. I gotta see where I am budget-wise. I know I'm kind of scraping right now, but let's see here. The complete set is for $25, and you get issues 1 through 6. So I mean, I look at 25 USD and I'm going, holy crap! I'm used to paying 25 for a single issue. So you're looking at what, 150? Yeah, $150 value easily on a CG crowdfunded book on Indiegogo. But he's only charging $25. You can't beat that for 6 issues of story. Excuse me. So now you got 6 issues autographed. So receive all issues in the miniseries, which is signed by author Justin Murphy. The entire set is shipped together. Also receive an original sketch of the character of your choice: werewolf, were-gator, were-jaguar, were-eagle, were-bear, or Diane the shaman. So you get 6 issues, which is a complete set, plus an original sketch. I mean, that's a steal too, because with original sketches, you can expect to pay anywhere from $100 to $250. So that's freaking cool. Hey, let me ask the chat If you were to back this tier, the complete set plus original sketch, which of the characters would you choose to have done on your sketch? I personally can't decide. Excuse me. I think I like all the characters. Well, all right, I can't say that. For some reason, I guess the Gator is my least favorite. I think the Eagle is interesting, but I don't know if I would choose it as the desired sketch. I mean, they all look cool and everything. I might go with either Diane or the classic werewolf. Werebear is interesting. What would you guys select if you were to back that tier? Christine says 60% take for Diamond is insane. How do they get so low on cash flow? Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? I can't help but wonder if they just had lavish lifestyles. Like when we had the tech boom and tech companies were all the rage. I wonder if they raised their standard of living and just ate out all the time, went to fancy restaurants, traveled all over the place. It's crazy. And then merely a couple weeks into the pandemic, self quarantine, then it's like they folded. As someone described, Diamond basically laid down and curled up in the fetal position. I think that's a pretty accurate description. Joe says, I might have to back the sketch tier. Oh my gosh, isn't that a cool deal? $4 a comic. Yeah. I mean, from what I'm hearing, Marvel and DC are already charging like $4.99 a book in comic shops. The one with the AAT, ass titty. So which one would that be? Which character would give you the most ass titty? The shaman, maybe? I mean, I guess it's possible for the other creatures to give you AAT. But I would bet on, if anything, the werebear or the were-jaguar. Or the werewolf, I guess. I didn't see whether or not the werewolf has a tail. If it's anything like a John Malin werewolf, then it won't have a tail, to my understanding. Christine would probably go for the wolf or the jaguar. Yeah. Oh my gosh, welcome, Dillard Dross. You'd go for the WyzGyz, is that right? Cool. Joe Frago wonders if they're a frog. I wonder if man, my throat feels rough. I wonder if it's because of all the tea I've been drinking lately. I haven't gone through all the tiers, but maybe there's a tier where you can do a custom sketch and you can ask them and do a werefrog. Deller Draw says, WyzGyz is the obvious superior killing machine. Going for the viciousness. A werefrog could do some damage to your ankles, though. WyzGyz, so Killer Croc is in the book? Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh my gosh. The sorceress. Oh yeah. The shaman. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards the shaman. Possibly the werewolf. But I mean, as was mentioned, there's lots of werewolf stuff out there now, and I don't want to say anything bad, but I don't know. Would the term be getting kind of growing tired or bored of it? But I mean, it seems like everyone is releasing werewolf-related books that have their own take, which makes it interesting, which is good. The werebear might have some thick cakes. Wolf, don't dogs have like 8 titties? Oh, yeah, female dogs, eh? I choose gator or bear. Really? Okay, fair enough. I think the werebear looks pretty vicious looking, but I mean, you probably have a challenge competing with the were-gator because, yeah, that's a better term. Oversaturated. There you go. Then at the same time, horror type of material has not always been my thing. Strangely enough, I only started getting back into horror with ComicsGate because ComicsGate projects are often they often take on the supernatural. They take on horror themes. They take on death. It's interesting how many books I have that actually cover those kinds of topics. Yeah, zombies and werewolves are abundant for sure. Totally agree. Totally agree. I am just floored at the. I'm just floored at the deals he's offering here. Oh, okay. All right. So here's the. Oh, wait. So he's only got what? 4 tiers? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wow. I was kind of expecting some other projects. I mean, some other tiers, but maybe he doesn't plan or have any interest in like swag or tchotchkes, things like that. I mean, I think this would do really well as a T-shirt. Like if you took one of his group shots, maybe even something like his artwork, like do an inked image on a T-shirt. Oh, jeez. What if he did one of those fancy shirts that you see on T-shirts where it's a wraparound image and you've got a continuous action scene on both sides of the shirt? That would be so righteous. I would go for something like that. But even if you have like a big image like this, like a big old rectangle on your shirt, that would probably be pretty cool too. It's got so much detail. Let me see. Yeah, it's that image. Wow. So 17 by 22 original poster art. The original poster artwork featuring the War Party. 17 by 22 on illustration board. Pencils and inks by Justin Murphy. Autographed. The only one of its kind. Art ships by Christmas, the rest by June. That's reasonable. It's early November. Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, whoever gets this for someone is going to be very, very happy at this finished product to get this in the mail or as a Christmas gift. Plus, you get the complete set, which is issues 1 through 6. Issue 1. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Poster on an illustration board. Autographed. All right. So if I'm not mistaken, I might have to ask this next time he's on. Complete set, issues 1 through 6. Issue number 1, 5 variant covers. And then original poster art, autograph poster, original sketch. Oh, you get a sketch too. Sweet. I mean, this is definitely worth it. Some pieces, the artwork alone, sometimes goes for more than that. But he's definitely a quality artist. There's no disputing that. So, I don't know, Christine, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the books themselves are not autographed. Just the poster is autographed. Man, what a steal. That's very cool. Dealer Draw says, well, the way I see it, if a bear is part human, that just makes it less dangerous. Yeah, versus a gator who is in the wild and is a creature. Yeah, I see what you mean. Eric says, I like monster horror comics. Monsters can be very creative, and there's a large pool of inspiration to pull from. Fair enough. But a gator who can stand up is terrifying. Yeah. You know, alligators and crocodiles, they're known to be very, very fast runners. They're close to the ground. They got little legs, but they move fast. And if you add to it the ability to stand, that might potentially give them even more advantage. I don't know if a gator would run faster if it had humanoid legs or if it would run faster with its original legs. Yeah, like Graham Nolan's Chenoo. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Christine says, yeah, t-shirts would be cool. All over print. I would love an all over print. Oh, man. I think his work would lend well to an all over print. I'm not a fan of t-shirts or clothing. I'd rather have posters, ash cans, stickers, keychains. Yeah, I actually like all of the above. Plus, I also like patches. You know, like Shay, aka Red Valkyrie. She's a big patches promoter. Yeah, I like all those kinds of things. I also like trading cards. But I'm a big t-shirts guy, so I love t-shirts. There's so many good campaigns out right now. I will probably be back at the $25 tier. Yeah, that is a freaking hell of a steal. The $25 tier. Oh my gosh. You get the 6 issues autographed. 6 issues autographed. That is pretty impressive. I am currently saving up to get some skits and Only Death Can Save Us. Or oh my gosh, yeah. Death Can Save Us original art. Hey Eric, are you gonna go for the crap? I'm blanking. The straight jacket tier. I think it's like $1,000. Are you gonna grab yourself the straight jacket? I think it's still available. And yeah, Only Death Can Save Us looks really cool. pretty excited about that. Christine says, I'm not sure, but maybe people can reach out and ask for theirs to be signed. Yeah, that's a question I'll have to ask him next time I have him on as well. Eric likes trading cards too. Cool. You know, they've come a long way in trading cards. I mean, I've received some from different campaigns that have like like a metallic finish. It's really trippy. I like it a lot. It's like getting fancy. Oh, another thing I like getting from campaigns is when they offer sketch cards, where there's an original sketch, one of a kind. Those I really dig. You know, I like seeing when an artist lays down his pencils and then his inks and colors, but you can still barely, when you hold it at the right angle, when you hold the card at the right angle, you can see the indentation into the paper or the cardstock. You can see like traces of the sketch lines. I think that kind of stuff is trippy. I like that stuff. I think that means all the comics, or he would have put 60 issues and a signed poster. I think that means all the comics. Are you referring, Christine, to the highest tier where you get the original artwork? I think that means all. Are you saying that all the comics are probably signed? Let's see. Eric says, nah, lol. I'm going to grab a piece of sequential art. That's going to be cool. Yeah, definitely get in on Only Death Can Save Us, because you know what? I think they're going to be closing soon. Shoot, let me see here. All right, I'm gonna have to ask Russ Leach on that, because I don't remember. I thought I heard him say something to the effect that it's going to be closing soon. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Yeah, I think I've got some kind of malware and spyware and antivirus software running in the background, and it seems to want to do a lot of work when I'm actively streaming. So it consumes resources. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have the resources I do have. 64 gigs of RAM, 13 terabytes of hard drive space, 12 core processing. But still, that kind of software can really slow down your machine. You're trying to remain protected, but you want that balance of not having it consume all your resources and preventing you from getting any work done, you know. Only Death Can Save Us. Let's check this out real quick. Joe says, well, what made humans rise above nature's predators is intelligence and tools. Now, imagine a weregator armed with intelligence, guns, and swords. Yeah, because that's true. That makes it even more dangerous. Well, on top of that, you know, these animals can talk. So they're humanoid. They've got friggin' dangerous weapons. They can tear you to shreds, and they're capable of speech. Eric says, "Yes, I got a Hammerella sketch card. Nice." Every time I hear of Hammerella, I keep thinking of let's see, I think it's Jason Krager's hammer. They seem to have similar concepts. I'll have to look into Hammerella. I see it advertised on EVS's channel, but I haven't taken the time to look at Hammerella yet. I love sketches. Yeah, I definitely love sketches. Oh, you backed Hammerella too. So it must be good. You know, if there's so many people backing it. Same here, Eric. That was a steal. Rossetti is... Oh, is that right? He's going for another 30 days in demand? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I did not know that. He might have told me, and I might have just forgotten. But, yeah, this... oh, I forgot to look at this. Quick segue. Let me see. Complete print set on Only Death Can Save Us, including A3... What is that? A3... Is that an asterisk? A3... Does that mean A3 and A4? Horseman poster? Or A3 times 4? Or A3 3x4? Horseman poster? Full print set plus book. You get a copy of the book, which is 80-page graphic novel, a black and white A4 print of Rob Willis art, a black and white A4 print of sexy Renzo Rodriguez art, black and white A4 print of funky Mike Emmerich art, black and white A4 print of slick Emmerich Birdie art, full color A3 print of Russ Leach and colored by Mike Summers. Jeez. So 80-page graphic novel, the Four Horsemen A3 poster, and then 4 A4 prints, including A3. Oh, okay. This is the quotes for the Four Horsemen poster. Okay, these are different lines. Whoops. Jeez, I really shut down. Oh, yeah. Red Valkyrie cosplay was offered. I scooped it up as soon as I saw it. I enjoy Shay's cosplay CG referenced stuff. Okay, the first perk has a signpost to the $25 perk says all are autographed. Yeah. I've got a lot of awesome trading cards. I'm addicted, and I love sketch cards too. Yeah. Like, let's see here. I presently keep all my cards right over here. So I won a prize from Sunday Bingo. And I got a deck of cards from 6 a.m. Comics, and it comes in this trippy case that has like this wavy exterior, but it's 6 a.m. comics, ComicsGate characters on every card. And then I've got trading cards from She. I've got, a set of cards from 7 Legions. I've got a set of cards. Now, I don't think Carbon Gray is ComicsGate. It's just a campaign I ran across that looked really dope. I'm also a channel member for a few select channels. One of them is Mandy Summers, so I got cards from her characters. Oh, Wart the Wizard. I got some Vampirella work. Some stuff from U.S. Assassin. Cyberfrog. Sketch cards I got include those from Sim Poitier. Really cool stuff. Oh, here's another piece from Sim. Man, that guy sketches fast. I got a Peter Gilmore one. The dog from Rocket Gal and the Mole Man from Mars. Let's see, Studio Fanatic. Woo! What is this? Oh, this was a trip. CG UK released a deck of cards via Kami Mark's campaign. Kim Il Sung and Best Korea. That was hilarious. Some more Cyberfrog. Some more Mandy Summers. Cyberfrog. Oh, I got this really trippy one from Passion for Drawing. I picked up Passion for Drawing had a campaign where he made these coloring books that are that have a whole lot of pages. I don't know where I put it, but it is really pretty thick. I think it was like 1/2 inch thick, and it was full of like sword and sorcery kind of pictures, and they're pretty darn good looking. But I picked up a couple books for him, and he threw in this card as a little bonus. Pretty sweet. Passion for Drawing. And then a couple more Cyberfrogs. Pretty trippy. Yeah, this stuff is a blast. I thoroughly love ComicsGate. It's such an amazing movement and a network of people having fun and trying to get the industry back into releasing quality stuff. I mean, it's like we are the industry now. Let's see here. So you said Russ is going for another 30 days. First perk has a signed poster, $25 perk says they're all autographed. Yep. But what about the, you might have answered this later, but what about the most expensive tier, the one with the original artwork? Are all the books there also signed? I've got a lot of awesome trading cards. I'm addicted, and I love sketch cards too. Yeah, I also contributed to EVS's Warts and All campaign, and with your backing, he's going to throw in one of those trading card binders. We have to pick up our own, pages to accept, that have the little pockets for the trading cards, but he's going to be sending out the actual binders. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll save me from buying the binder separately. And you can get the pages most anywhere, like Target, Walmart. Set up your virus software to scan when you're asleep. Yeah, I know. I got to set it to like 3 a.m. or something. So it's sure not to interrupt. I backed Hammer too. F.A.M.I.L.Y, the concept of Hammerella. Huh. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what that word means. Define F.A.M.I.L.Y. Oops, it couldn't find it. It translated F.A.M.I.L.Y. to employer. It's like, what the hell? Define F.A.M.I.L.Y. Nope, still pulling up employer. Oh, you meant to say like? Okay. I'm going after the collector's tier for Russ's campaign. I hope no one snatches it up before I can get it. It's a good thing that he oh, jeez. Oh, man, yeah. Holy moly. 80-page comic novel, 2 of them. The Four Horsemen A3 poster. Rob Willis A4 print. All right, it's a poster, graphic novel, 4 prints, A4 character sketch. Oh, yeah. Jeez. 50 by 50 centimeter cover art canvas and an A3 original page art. Whew. Holy crap. Oh, man. Eric, I think you and I are going to be in competition because that's one of those I was saving up for as well. Good gracious. It's a shame that he doesn't have 2 of them on his campaign. Yeah, I'm a member for Ethan and Frega. They both send cards and magnets every so often. I have not set myself up to receive the stuff from Frega's, and I just joined his less than a month ago. So I got to get on that. Christine says, yeah, I got my brother's card from EVS on Saturday. Wink. Nice. Do you have any poker chips? I have 1 so far. Back when I thought Johnny Phantasm 1985 was closing down permanently, I found myself in the don't want to miss out crowd. I should know better, but it was. I found myself in that position and don't want to miss out. Yeah, because I was kind of on the fence, bouncing back and forth. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? But I mean, this has got so many cool perks, and everyone seems to love it. So, I've got this one from the first campaign, I guess. Oops, wrong one. I got this one from what is it? Johnny Phantasm, I think 1972 or something. But with the backings I did for Johnny Phantasm 1985, I think I'm supposed to be getting 2 or 3 of them, which includes, I dropped a button somewhere, which includes, I think, a special gold chip. And on that campaign, oh, dang it. Where did the bloody thing fall? Which include, which, if I'm not mistaken, if you have the special chip from this campaign, which I think is the gold one, then when you go to For the Fans Fest, found the button. It's the one from Kami Marks, Kim Il-sung, and Best Korea. Then I think you go to their table and they'll give you a special Johnny Phantasm action figure or something like that. So they're thinking ahead. It's pretty trippy. Eric was lucky enough to get a Fragtober sketch from Dan. Oh my gosh, yeah. Love CG. Yeah, I missed out. I was trying to spam at the last minute, the last few days of Fragtober, my ideas, but none of them were picked. Well, congrats. Which one was yours, Eric? Remind me which Fragtober word of the day you chose was. Christine says, the original art perk looks like only the poster is signed, but I'm betting whoever buys it can ask him to sign the comics. I think he'd be willing. I think he'd be willing. He seems like a real chill, easygoing guy. Yeah, Ibla was a typo. I meant to type I like. Including shipping, the collector's tier will be $517. Yeah, may the best man win. It's on. It's a competition. Oh my gosh. I would love to score that. That's a freaking cool deal. Joe Frog is cracking up. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I knew it sounded off. Johnny Phantasm 1977. That's what it should be. Christine is still waiting on her Fragtober sketch. Should get it soon, though. Smile. I pestered him for 19 days, I think, until he finally gave in and drew me a crocodile alien. That was your pick? Crocodile alien? Oh my gosh. What an interesting idea. Oh, man. Johnny Phantasm is my favorite CG book so far. I like how Johnny is a villain. Nice. Yeah, there's a... Oh, shoot. What's the other one? There's another book out there now. I even did a... Shoot, where is it? I even did a recent... Oops, hold on. That's set to autoplay. Don't want that right now. Yeah, there's this other book out there where the protagonist is more or less a villain. I guess he started as a hero. Then through a series of events, he ended up becoming a villain. It's an interesting concept, and the artwork's pretty darn decent. It's The Buckler. Yeah, and what cracks me up is, his weapon is literally a buckler, which is a small shield. Yeah, so I had John Dillard on a few days ago, October 30th, it says. So definitely interesting checking out things that are different from the norm. I got the OMAC sketch from Frege. I'm getting it framed next week. Oh, nice. All right, so I'm going to sound dumb here, but remind me what OMAC stands for. I'm blanking. OMAC. It stands for something, right? And who are you going to get it framed by? I saw this video or this post on Twitter, I guess, from Anna, aka that Star Wars girl, who had a framing mishap recently where I guess she uses this particular local framing company, and they might have outsourced to Michael's, and her finished painting came out scuffed and stuff. So she's really pissed. Reptilian aliens are not a new thing. Yeah, true. I mean, there was V, that TV series. Lol, yeah, it will be the only crocodile alien Frege draws, so pretty unique. That's a good take. Draws, pick a topic that the given artist is not known for doing, or that you don't see everywhere. That is a good idea. Super Dead? Wait, is OMAC related to Super Dead? Is that what you're saying? Not reptilian crocodilian. The Buckler, I will have to check that out. The crocodile alien sketch was cool. I did not see that. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I hadn't seen the crocodile alien sketch. I missed some of his Fractobers. I'll have to go back and look through them. One Man Army Corps. All right. I'm going to Michael's if it doesn't get burned down this week after the election. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine riots, people rioting places like Michael's, and you've got all this craft supplies, and you're literally dealing with everything from glues to paints to paper to balsa wood to picture frames. Can you imagine all the dangerous fumes that would result from setting a place like that on fire? I mean, the whole rioting situation is just sad. Yeah, so that was Only Death Can Save Us. Includes all shipped via courier. Man, yeah, oh crap, yeah. So you're looking at 452 USD plus shipping, plus the conversion rate between UK and US. Well, it's already factored in here, 452 USD plus courier shipping. Oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot about that factor. And you said it came out to, let me scroll back. You said you actually did the math, and you worked out how much the shipping would cost on top of it. Let me see if I can find it. Shoot. Meanwhile, everybody backed this cool book. War Party. Yeah, I've got to do more promotion of War Party. I got to drop it in chat and stuff like that. I think you said it came out to something like 542 or something like that after shipping. So what, are we looking at about $100 in shipping? Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if I could pull that. Let's see here. Social media is going to be pure popcorn eating entertainment tomorrow. Oh my gosh, seriously. That's going to be insane. Eric says, it is sad. I live in LA County. Oh, I've got family in San Fernando Valley. Sweet. Or is that Los Angeles County or Louisiana? Oh wait, it must be LA. Los Angeles. I live in LA County and businesses are shutting down for the week to board up their businesses in preparation for the riots. Oh man, that is really sad. To have to consider that, to factor that in, to know that people are going to be willing to riot after the results of the election or how they feel the election is going. Man, I'm not looking forward to the riots, but what I'm looking forward to is seeing thousands upon thousands of people on social media reeing when Trump's reelected. Like that one gal who, I don't know if she literally became famous, but social media turned her into a meme where it's that short-haired gal. I think she's a redhead or brunette, but she's like, oh, and she just screams and screams. It was so funny. I wonder if I wonder if these SJWs who were reeing in 2016 ever kind of use that to their advantage and turn it into like a merchandising opportunity to release like t-shirts or something like that. I mean, if I end up in that the bizarre position of being turned into a social media laugh fest, I'd probably try and find some way to monetize it. Yeah, Los Angeles. Oh man. Oh damn, that sucks, Eric. I've been slacking in everything, lol. These hours are destroying my soul. Oh yeah. Yeah, you work really long hours, and I feel for you, Joe. I wasn't in as bad a situation. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you look at it, really. Hell yeah. I was one of those. So I got divorced, right? And then I was kind of momentarily homeless, if you can call it that. But I did live in a homeless shelter. But fortunately, at the time, I still had my car, right? So I had a job where I was sort of in a fulfillment center, I guess you could call it, similar to Amazon, just at a much smaller scale. So you'd receive in product, you'd process it, clean it as they call it. But it was a company that also did embroidery. So you'd have merchandise that people would order on the website and go, all right, I want these initials. I want my initials or some loved one's initials embroidered on this product because I'm going to give it to them as a Christmas gift or birthday gift or what have you. So I was working in one of those kinds of places. So I was doing a little bit of everything. But on top of that, I was doing Uber X, which is the general Uber ride sharing, where you have to have like a compact or a sedan, and you're just driving anyone. It's like the blue collar version of Uber, not the fancier version where you're in a black vehicle and you're decked out in leather. So I was doing Uber X on top of that job, regular full-time job, which is seasonal. And I was also doing Uber Eats. So whenever I didn't have any gigs to do for Uber X, I would pick up as many Uber Eats jobs as I could. And interesting thing about Uber is, I don't know if they've changed it since, but at the time, they allowed you to do Uber jobs for a period of up to 12 hours at a time. So I was doing nearly or at 40 hours a week full time. Plus, I was trying to pull 12-hour shifts with Uber. And you can imagine how insane that was. So I was literally burning the candle at both ends. And It wasn't a. It was kind of a challenging and dangerous situation, to put it lightly. Did you hear about the celebrities that live in a certain gated community hiring a security team for the election? Talk about living on another planet. Well, you know what's funny? In addition to celebrities doing that, politicians do that all the time. There are politicians who are elected to serve a certain district, but they live in a totally different district or even state in some cases. So they have no connection to their constituency whatsoever, which really pisses me off. Yeah, and you know, celebrities and politicians alike, they're all pushing the defund the police movements, but then they're more than comfortable hiring their own security teams to work for them. And it's like, you know what? If you were really following what you propose or purport to believe, then you wouldn't hire a security firm. So that's how you know they're two-faced and that kind of garbage. Yes, that gal with glasses screaming, no! She was yelling that several times, and you know, people got on camera, and she was like one of the big SJWs reeing all over. It was so funny. I cracked up every time I saw it. I work for the Department of Health Services in Los Angeles County, and my medical director told us in a meeting today to not go into certain areas, especially downtown LA. You know what? I think everyone by now knows this is a shamdemic. It's all about control. The country hasn't shut down its economy in like decades. I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the best at history, but I think the last time the economy was literally shut down was it during the plague? Something crazy like that. But it was decades ago, and there was no justification whatsoever. There was just all this doom and gloom and all this misinformation. There's still misinformation out there, despite all the medical professionals who are speaking out and saying, you know, is being handled wrong. This self-quarantine is way off track. You're not supposed to quarantine people who are healthy. You're supposed to quarantine the people who are sick. And I'm just amazed that state and local governments were able to have so much power to, you know, insist that people stay home when it's unconstitutional. And what I was going to get to in my usual roundabout way is with these riots, you know, they're all claiming it's due to social, what is it? Systemic racism, is that the term? But everyone was clamoring for George Floyd. I agree it wasn't handled properly by the cops, but at the same time, George Floyd was supposedly a criminal. And then they bring up that other gal who supposedly was innocent but was killed in crossfire. But not only was her boyfriend, I don't remember her name, not only was her boyfriend like some drug dealer or something, but when the cops knocked on the door to serve a warrant or something or do an inspection, he fired at the cops. So obviously the cops had his, have self-defense. And in the midst of it, his girlfriend got killed. But the girlfriend, as I understand it, was also in on the drug dealing or something, or she was a facilitator or something. But that quickly, the so-called peaceful protests quickly turned into riots, violent riots that were destroying businesses, big and small. And what's interesting is none of them seemed to care about destroying small businesses. I mean, they called it Black Lives Matter, but they didn't give a damn when Black-owned businesses were being burned to the ground. And on top of that, you've got BLM working with Antifa, and BLM's an illegal money laundering system that routes all its donations to the Democratic National Committee. You've got BLM working with Antifa, working with George Soros, who you'll notice that in the major cities, they do the riots because, it garners media attention. And they started showing how mysteriously pallets full of bricks and bats and garbage like that were left out in the open, in areas that did not have construction going on. You'd see pallets of bricks, and they were conveniently placed. So that's why you want to stay away from major cities in particular. Joe says, if they were smart, they would have monetized it like the Hide Your Kids guy, but they is dumb. Yeah, I agree. Oh no, mini Thanos. Wow, did you even sleep? When I was doing the fulfillment company plus 12 hours of Uber and Uber Eats, not a whole lot. I was basically sleeping out of my car. So I go to a place that had lighting in their parking lot. I try to go to or go to a parking lot of a 24-hour joint. There were some places, certain McDonald's locations and White Castle, that were open 24 hours. Oh, and I think specific IHOPs, like in Kentucky, that were 24 hours. So I'd kind of like park in a place that was well lit and try and squeeze in 3 or 4 hours of sleep. But I was running on fumes frequently. I was exhausted all the time, and it was rough. It was also stupid. I should have just gotten higher paid. I should have found a way to get higher paid jobs and worked less, worked a normal schedule so I could fit in some sleep. Yeah, so that was a mess of a time in my life. There was another goofy thing that happened. I think was it in the 90s, mid 90s, where this guy on social media, he sang the song "Pants on the Ground." It was a commentary on kids and that fashion trend where their pants were dragging down on their feet and they were revealing their boxers. And this one guy, this older black guy, did this video that was something to the effect, pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants hanging down. I think that could have been something big. And then the woman who I think it was an overweight black woman who said Ain't nobody got time for that. That I don't know if anyone really took advantage of that, but I think some people did, and they might have done. I think they did T-shirts. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. How do they know what's going on in the state or city they're supposed to represent? I agree. This fucker Newsom sent up a hotline where people can snitch on their neighbors for having people over for Thanksgiving. A fucking hotline. Yeah, I totally agree. I heard about that story. That is insane. That Newsom is a nut job. I'm still shocked to this day that people were willing to elect him. I mean, the only way I could see electing him is that if he were the only choice, the only person running for governor or mayor or whatever of California, he's just turning California into a deeper shithole than it previously was. No need to apologize for cussing. I mean, I'm totally okay with cussing as long as there's reason for it. Christine says, that's disgusting, but they were asking people to do the same over here. Report your neighbors for having barbecue with too many people. It's like, don't people have some things better to do than to report? I mean, I saw a post on Facebook today where they were comparing, why is it okay for there to be why is it okay to close down churches completely and yet permit people to fly an aircraft with masks on, but have a full booking where every seat is used up? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make common sense for that to be permissible. I mean, at least in a church, you can have people spaced out on pews. And even some churches, don't even have enough membership to take up all those spaces. So it's like natural social distancing already. But in an aircraft, you're dealing with recycled air. People are going to wear masks. People are required to wear masks, but they pack the whole airplane instead of spacing them out. It makes no common sense. It's like, what the hell are these people even adults? And add to it the fact that the COVID virus is so small, it passes through the fibers of these cotton masks, these 3-layer cotton masks that people are using. I mean, supposedly to be effective, you need a formal N95 mask, which I think has the special filters on the outside. It doesn't make sense. They're not being logical. They're not thinking it through. If anything, I think it's going to be even worse because, people wearing those masks, not only are they ineffective against COVID, which is just another variant, another strain of the flu virus that hits us every year. The being in a confined space with no social distancing in an enclosed tube, it doesn't make sense. It's just garbage. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So it's basically a joke. It's a joke. Let me see. All right. So I went off on a wild, crazy tangent. Let's watch this trailer once again. Cool stuff.
Everything changed when war reached the Americas. Caught between the French and the British, Family paid the price. Only my darling Sarah survived. They took her away. We couldn't save them, but we will save her. 5 men against thousands, how can it be done? We are not really men. War has brought out the beast in us all, and we will have our vengeance, for we are
The War Party. I like the music too. Good choice of music. Wolf, bear, eagle, jaguar, gator. Gator reminds me of like a mini Godzilla. What the hell? Mandalorian season 2, episode 1. Top. Oh, all right. Very cool. Very, very cool. So, just out of curiosity, are we still at 115? Oh my gosh, he got 3 more backers. Huzzah! He's now into $6,000 territory. Hooray! 118 backers. Fantastic. Awesome. I'm just going to throw out a tweet real quick. Dun, 60% funded. Congrats. Oh, hold on. Justin Murphy. What was his Twitter again? It was. Where'd it go? Oh, Rampart Press. Okay. Rampart Press. All right. For crossing the 6K mark and hitting 118 backers in the last 2 hours. Let's get this fully funded. Hashtag ComicsGate. Sweet. Tasty. All right. Fantastic. That is great news. Hail, everyone. Hail ComicsGate. All right. Let's see. See if I missed anything. Nice. Yeah. Word is starting to get around. I think some people thought there was something dodgy about the campaign because the price was so good. Oh, yeah. I mean, man, there are so many people. I mean, this is actually his, his 5th campaign? Yeah, 5th campaign. But his first one was a comic book, I guess. And then the next 3 were an animated movie. View profile. Let me see how well he did on his other historical-based comic. Claiborne. Oh, wait, this was an animated feature film? 3524. I don't know if that represents being fully funded or not. But this is his first crowdfunded comic book. So far, so good. We need to get this fully funded because I want this. I want this. Buy ad. And like with any new creator, I mean, I understand he's got his reasons, and for him, uh, when he compares it to his experience working with Diamond and them getting a 60% cut uh, for distribution, this goes a long way to meeting his financial goal, and he can deliver his product regardless of whether it gets fully funded, which I respect. At the same time, I don't want him to be shortchanging himself. Sounds like he's thought it through and done the math. Yeah, I think I've decided that if I go with the original sketch tier, that I'll probably go with let's see. If I go with the original sketch, I'm going to do the shaman. Yeah, she looks pretty hot. Yeah, and she seems to be pretty central to the whole story. Man, such good looking artwork. And with new creators also, like another book I really like is Eva, EYVA. The one that has like serious Eon Flux vibes. That one is really cool. But I guess, what was the deal? I think she did what a lot of new creators and new crowdfunders do, and uh, um, don't properly account for just how much shipping will cost. Oh man, the his idea for changing from human or creature to the beast is really trippy. It's gross, but it's a great idea. And what I'm kind of bummed about is how if you are disabled but you put the pelt on and are granted the powers, you get your limbs and stuff back. But then once the pelt is removed or once you change back, then you're back to being disabled. That would be, oh man, that's a kick in the pants. That that does add opportunities for character. And what would you do in a similar situation? Would you want the freedom of being able to move around freely despite being a creature, a monster? Or would you know, be a-okay with returning to your natural self if that means being disabled? Yeah, I gotta say the different animals are pretty sweet too. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. The book was published and sold on Amazon? I don't think that one was crowdfunded. Oh, are you referring to the his other work? Dang it, what's the name of it again? Are you referring to Claiborne having a comic book equivalent to the animated feature film? And that being on Amazon? Because he was saying that War Party has not been released in print before. I guess this was like a passion project he's had on the back burner, but was making and preparing for 2 years. Let's see here. It was a graphic novel. Can't remember page count though, but it was a pretty thick book. I would prefer to turn into a wolf. Lol. Yeah, all right. So Claiborne actually became a book and sold on Amazon. Oh, can you? You can buy it on Amazon. Jow 6. Oh, now. Typo. I thought it was like a coupon code to get a discount on Amazon. Oh my gosh. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is a freaking cool book. War Party. Everybody back this sucker. ASAP. It'll be exciting to find out who backs the highest tier, because as much as I'd love to have it, I don't think I can afford it, even when I save up, because there's so many projects I back. But that's a steal. Original artwork plus all that other stuff. 6 issues. 5 variant covers of issue 1. Original poster art, 17 by 22. It autograph poster. Original sketch. Man, really, really nice. Yeah, so I mean, if I saved up for that tier, then I wouldn't be able to get the Only Death Can Save Us tier. It's like, too many cool tiers. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Woe is me. Oh man, yeah, it's going to require a lot of saving up for sure. Yeah, typo. All right, so I wanted to thank everyone here. It's only 9:13 p.m. here, East Coast. I was thinking of doing another stream, but I'm not sure. I want to see who else is streaming and see if there's other streams I want to hop in on. But if I don't find any, then I might do another stream. I'm not sure what. Sometime soon, I'm going to have to do another P.O. Box opening stream, because I've got a total of 5 items now. So 5 things I can open. 5. So be on the lookout for a P.O. Box opening stream. Where would we be? It'll be P.O. Box opening number 19. Christine says, yeah, I can never afford actual art. Too pricey for my budget. Yeah. I have like ebbs and flows. Sometimes I have enough to where I can cover getting original art every once in a while, but usually not. I mean, that's why when I back a lot of campaigns, I don't go for the autograph tiers, because they're more expensive. So I end up just getting the books that are not autographed. It's 2:13 a.m. for me. I think I need to head to bed, lol, smile. I appreciate you hanging in as long as you have, and for staying with us, because, yeah, I hear you're a big Justin Murphy fan and backer, and I appreciate your supporting his project. That is pretty epic. And I really want to see him succeed, and I want to see him release that full-length animated film, because that's probably going to be really cool. Please find me on social media. You can catch me on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment, on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets. It looks like I'm finally no longer shadow banned. I was like partially shadow banned, I guess. but I think it was exclusively because of my political sharing and posts. And Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Google are all censoring a lot of voices to sway the election, of course. So you can find me on Twitch under WyzGyz Twitches, on Parlay under WyzGyz Parlays. I have an Instagram, but I forgot what my Instagram is. Is it WyzGyz IGs? Oh no, Instagram is WyzGyz Now. WyzGyzNow. It's basic. I think I went that route because WyzGyz Instagrams is a little on the long side. There might have also been a character limitation on screen names. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. And drop any comments down below the video to let us know who your favorite were character is. Is it the were eagle, the were wolf, the were bear, the were jaguar, or the were it's not a dial. It's is it a werecroc? Yeah, it is. It's a werecroc, isn't it? Yeah, they're all being totally biased. I'll be glad when the election fuss is all over. Yeah. Did you guys notice that when the riots started, that COVID kind of disappeared? It was the funniest thing. The news was covering COVID nonstop, and then suddenly the riots. So then they focused all their attention on the riots, and then it's like COVID got cured momentarily. Now they're kind of bringing it back to the forefront again. A part of me thinks that when the election is over, COVID will disappear again. It's just funny. It's just crazy. Yeah, so drop some comments down below. Let us know which were character you would be if given the chance, and the pelt. And please back this book. Thank you to everyone in chat. Thank you so very much. Thank you to our special guest, Justin Murphy. Thank you to everyone who watches this on replay. And I appreciate all your continued support. Thank you so very much. We are ending the broadcast in 3, 2, 1.